Hey guys, what's up? I'm Greg. I hope you guys are ready to unpack and get into some good conversations today.
And I'm Jess, and this is our podcast, Baggage Claim. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Baggage Claim, where we just sit around the table, hang out, have some conversations about blended families and marriage and relationships and mental health and self-care and life and everything. Kids and a lot of stuff. So Baggage Claim, if it's your first time here, thank you for joining us. We're just hoping to create some conversations and community around relationships and marriage and blended families and all those fun things that we just talked about. So for those of you who are been listening for a while, thank you so much. Grab your favorite beverage, coffee, tea, whatever else that may be.
Pull up to the table.
Pull up to our table with us, and let's jump into our conversation tonight and get started. It's tonight because that's when we're recording.
That's when we're recording. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying tonight.
So
what are we talking about tonight?
So it's still summer. It's summer here, obviously, and I am still in summer Jess mode, and so sometimes like being professional might be a little bit difficult. And this feels like that day.
Are you going to say unprofessional things?
No, It's just like...
Dang it.
Oh, yeah. Ready.
Oh, we got the beeper.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. But it's just kind of like when we were planning this, you're like, okay, and I'm going to do the open, and then you're going to kick us off. And I was like, okay, what am I going to say?
Yeah, and she has for those of you who don't know, she has a notebook of words in front of her.
I do.
So, a notebook full of them.
We're going to kind of go back to the beginning a little bit. So
we're kicking it old school. That's right. We're going back to the foundational.
Yeah, the past 4 or 5 episodes, we've been talking more about like marriage and relationship type things. And the biggest reason why we wanted to start this podcast is because there's such limited information in the world, apparently, for blended families.
Well, for real life situations for people. It's not over spiritualized. There's not over counseled or psychology of. It's just like, hey, when my kid does this, what did you guys do?
Yeah.
When my kid did that, what did you do?
So we got to talking about it, and we started remembering how in the beginning of our relationship, it was always from the get-go. It was important for us to make sure that the kids were involved. Like we were doing this with them, and we weren't doing it to them. It wasn't like me and you are in love, we're getting married, and y'all have to deal with it.
Right. But it wasn't it wasn't like, that wasn't after our first or second date. It was we had been out and we're like, okay, we didn't introduce the kids to each other. And we didn't
lot.
Yeah. We were very, very hesitant to bring the kids into it. So we wanted to make sure that this was, when we did bring the kids into this and they all met, we wanted it to have some purpose. We wanted to have some meaning behind it. Yeah. And so we were very, very careful about how we did that when we did it. I know I tried to even make the fact that when I told the kids that we were dating, that I wanted to make it special for them so we could have conversation around that. See how that went. I wanted them to be a part of that.
Okay, talk about how you told your kids, and then I'll talk about how I told my kids.
So at the time, Callie loved, and she may still, loved Red Lobster because she would eat the cheddar. All she would eat was the cheddar biscuits, and she could eat her weight in those.
She could. She didn't eat a whole 12 at that time.
Yeah,
literally
so she would eat those cheddar biscuits, and then she would eat a thing of mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, yeah.
And that's, a lot of carbs. She was carbing up.
She was.
At that, but that was, so I took him to Red Lobster. It was the one down at the Mall of Georgia. I don't remember what Cody ate. I don't think he, really cared.
Who knows?
And so I was there, and I told him that, who you were, and we were dating, and Callie was a little freaked out because she knew who you were and had already had some interactions with you from the library because you're in the library.
I was.
And so she was just like, oh, I know her.
Yeah, and we had been buddies up until then. Like, I had that little group of girls because of one specific relationship I had with Molly and her parents. But they were just big buddies, and we would just, like, hang out, like, check out books and talk and whatever. And then
Callie loved books.
She did. She still does. But after she found out it was me, and when they were the same group of girls would come to the library, Callie would look at me like I had 3 heads. And she's like, she forgot she had words to say. And she got so weird for a little bit. It was cute.
Yeah. So that's how I told my 2.
Well, you were a lot more intentional about it because, you know, the dinner and favorite place and all. My kids, and to hear the 4 of them talk about it is hilarious. My 2, we were in the car going to karate, and I was like, oh, hey, I went on a date.
Hey, forgot to tell y'all.
His name's Greg, and he's got some kids. And they were like, okay, cool. When do we meet him? Yeah, that's the extent of how intentional it was in the car.
Well thought out.
It was pretty thought out. I was just like ripping a Band-Aid, just got to say it.
So up until then, the kids had not like hung out together. No. We had not, we hadn't done anything together. We just talked about it, kind of introduced the idea. So we're like, okay, let's get all of them together. Where's a controlled environment that'd be fun, that they can kind of play and have fun? There's like, there's a park that I've taken Callie and Cody to. It's in Talmo, Georgia.
Teeny tiny
if
town
you know,
with
it's
nothing.
There's like, you blink and you miss it.
A library and a playground.
Yeah.
And a community center.
The library is also part of City Hall, I think.
That's adorable.
Yeah, so they have everything. So it's tiny. So we went to this park there, which is a really cool park. And we're at one of the tables there, and we're just like, hey, we can be there. It's quiet. And then we can have conversation, and kids can just play.
They can meet, play.
Yeah.
And they all hit it off really quickly.
Yeah. And then, and again, we're like trying to set our expectations in a way of saying, okay, they're kids. We're not going to have like deep, great, meaningful conversations. Right. So it's like, okay, how do we get the kids to start talking?
Because like we were saying in the beginning, we wanted to involve them as much as we could. Because, I mean, all 4 of them had been through some, you know, family trauma.
Yep.
It looked different for the, you know, sets of 2, but we wanted to make sure that they were involved in it, that it, you know, because there was some other things that had happened that were not in their control.
Right.
Not that they could control the situation, but being involved in it gave them a little bit more ownership. So we were really careful to do that.
And I think that word ownership is a cool word to use when you're talking about your kids in this whole relationship and how they fit into that. Because, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, you think about any family, there's lots of trauma.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is if you think about the trauma in your life, the majority of people, that trauma came from in their house. Mm-hmm. And so it's knowing all that, processing, giving them a voice and giving them some ownership and all of that was very important to us.
Yeah.
So then
this park situation turned out to be a pretty big marker for the timeline of our family.
It was kind of a big event for us. Mm-hmm. And so, I was trying to figure out a way to start the conversation. That's how my brain always works.
Yeah, and of course, I had no idea at all. I was just happy to be there.
So I'm like, how do we start this? And so then I had this idea. I was like, I saw, because I was going to conferences, doing a lot of team building stuff, group development things. Not that time, but in the past, I was like, I saw this activity that I think will work, and let's try it. Mm-hmm. So, excuse me, I'm going to grab my props.
For those of you who are not watching on YouTube, I'm going to move this candle though. Well, it's hot, so we're going to be real careful with that over here. So Greg's got 4 cups and then some butter knives. So I'm going to let you tell all the details.
So I told Jess this idea. I was like, let me pitch the idea to you. It's a team building kind of riddle activity, and then you're going to help me make it better. And she's like, okay, how do you work? And I was like, we need 4 glasses and we need 3 butter knives.
So these are like short, literally just like clear glass.
Almost like a highball glass.
Yeah.
Like a highball, if you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, ask your Siri and your phone or Alexa what a highball glass is. It's just a short, clear glass.
Yeah.
Not very tall.
Not very tall.
And so
we had those. And then
3 standard butter knives, which is weird about our house. I don't know if your house is this way. we only have 3 butter knives in our entire drawer.
Yes.
Like I looked this is just for everybody out there. These are all the butter knives that we
you were
own.
Holding. Yes.
These are all that we have to
and
our
I
name.
remember when we got married, my sweet nanny, she was like, I'm not buying you nonsense. What do you actually need? And at that moment, 13 years ago, I said, butter knives, Nanny. We need butter knives. Because we put our 2 households together and we had probably 4. And so.
But what's crazy, we had tons of other things, pots, all this. But okay, so for the past 13 years, there's a stack of butter knives somewhere.
And now we've ended up with 3 again. But it happened with forks too. All of our forks disappeared. But we just haven't replaced
Somebody's either throwing them away or just, I don't know. But anyway, so.
Anywho.
Side note.
Whatever.
It's like a sock. It's like what happens to those socks? Like, how do you get rid of a butter knife?
I don't know. They literally have disappeared. So
I literally was trying to stay focused here. The butter knives are in the dryer. That's it.
In the dryer. That's a problem.
If the socks wound up in the butter knife drawer, I'd be like, oh.
So,
all right. So anyway,
hold on. But you forgot about the markers. We had special markers that we have found.
We hadn't got there yet.
Oh,
so I explained this activity.
I was just talking about what we had. Materials.
I was explaining this activity. So we had the 4 cups and the 4 knives, and I was explaining this activity to Jess, and I was like, the whole idea is we use these 3 knives, these 4 glasses, and one of these glasses has to be suspended above the table, and all it can touch is the butter knives.
So if you're not watching, he just arranged 3 of the glasses kind of like in a triangle.
I put them in a triangle. And then one is in my hand. And so I was like, the idea is they have
being mindful of people who are not watching.
They have to arrange these 3 butter knives in order to make this
Grace,
4th
our
one.
youngest, said to make sure that we're mindful of that. I am. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I'm proud of myself. Go ahead. I'm going to sit back now from the mic.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to do this part?
Nope.
You can. Okay.
Sure don't.
Sure.
I'm good.
Summer Jess. Anyway, so I explained the activity to Jess, and then Jess, being the teacher she says, I was like, how do we make this personal? Like, how do we connect the kids and us? How do we make this an activity so it's a visual, hands-on, but actually part that we can make? And then she had the idea.
This is where the markers came in.
Yeah, now we're going to talk about the markers that you wanted to talk about earlier. So go ahead and talk about we have 1 cup here that has a lot of drawings on it. And if you looked at it, you would be like, I don't know what this is. I don't even know what it is either.
With the kids' ages, they were 8, 10, 11, 12. The 1 cup we have is Thomas's, and I'm not sure how it ended up on the bookshelf in the office at our house. I don't know.
I went and got it out of it. When he moved out, it was in his room, and I just took it.
Gotcha. Erin, she knows where it is. It's packed up. Cody lives in Athens.
I think there's broke. They had a couple of them that broke.
Callie lives in Florida, so there's some unaccounted for. But I'm happy we have this one.
Yeah, as an example.
As an example. And I mean, it's just got random artwork like this.
We'll post some pictures. I'll post some pictures on Shell Show when this hits.
I mean, he colored red all over the bottom.
The idea is that you gave them a bunch of markers.
I did.
And we all gave them one of these highball glasses, and they're permanent markers. And we said, you can write and draw anything appropriate.
Decorate it however you want.
It needs to reflect your personality.
And this is yours to keep.
Yeah. So when you draw on all this, this is yours that you're going to get to keep with you. It's yours. It needs to be your personality.
Yes.
That's all about you.
Yes.
And they're like, okay. So, and I was like, and then the other part is each one of these butter knives, like this butter knife is going to represent Jess because sometimes she's just.
Be careful.
She's smooth. Smooths everything out.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, Jess would be, thank you. Jess would be 1 butter knife. I would be 1 butter knife. And God's going to be the other one. No, don't dig into this and say that we think Jess and I are on the same level as God.
No.
He's a part of this relationship of what we're putting together. That's the reason he's a representation of one of the butter knives. Yes. So Jess is a butter knife. I am. Each one of the kids represents one of the glasses.
I'm excited to see if you can do this again. It's been a lot of years since
and
you've
so
tried this.
The idea is as the kids were drawing their cups or painting, like just drawing, doing all kind of crazy
decorating.
artwork, we had conversations around the idea of, why'd you put that on there? Tell me something about why you put that on your cup.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you? Why did you write that? Why did you color that? Why'd you use that color? Just to allow them. And I was like, what is your, and at the end, we would just let them take their cup and just kind of explain what it was that.
As the best they could as little kids.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like, it's not, it's not, Callie's probably had a ton of thought into it.
Probably
because that's just the way she did everything. And so we did that. And then I explained to them, I was like, okay, you guys each have a glass. One glass has to be suspended above the table using me, your mom, and God. And that's it. And so those were the rules. And so we set forth to letting them do that to try to figure it out. Yeah, because it's one of those things, but you can dig so deep into this as metaphors, but we just tried to be
pictures of what it looks like when it's actually working.
Yes, I won't do it now because we're in the middle of the podcast, but it's almost like it's not an easy solution. You got to kind of think outside the box. Well, a lot of times it's just like our families. Like when you take 6 people, 3 from each side, and you put them in one house and everybody's now living, cohabitating, doing life together. That's not a simple, easy, straightforward thing.
I just had like literally a flashback of this. I remember when it first worked, when you showed them how to do it.
I let them do it for a while, and then they were like, you can't do this. This can't be done.
I don't remember whose was on top first, but they were like, I win. You're all holding me up, blah, blah, blah. And then you made them do it again and again so that all 4 of them had a turn for their cup to be the one on top. And then you use that kind of metaphorically too. It's like, this is not just one of us doing this. Like we're all working together and we're all going to hold each other up while we're doing this. I remember that. That's kind of fun.
So I think the biggest thing for me in the walk away, the visual, I kind of wanted them to catch. And all of this is like, it's going to take every single one of us engaged and a part of this to make this happen. If we're not all, like you take one of these pieces out, this doesn't work.
Right.
Like it's just, it doesn't work. It has to, they all 4 have to be engaged.
Yeah.
Or not all 4, but all 6 of these pieces have to be engaged in order to make this happen. And so we had some great conversations around that. And that was it.
Yeah.
Like we were just like, and because the idea is like, hey, we're not getting married. It wasn't like
we hadn't talked about it yet. And it's funny when we were talking about this too, it was like, we took our time with that, but we only knew each other for 8 months when we got married, but we were so intentional with every single thing that we did that it feels like it was a lot longer than that. But like, even at this point, like you said, like we weren't with the cup park situation. We weren't like, okay, and then we're going to get married. Like we were not even there yet.
No, we knew we wanted to pursue each other.
Yeah.
And like we knew, okay, I really like this girl. I want to make this work.
Right.
And so this was not, I know you could look at this scenario and go, ooh, you're combining everybody together.
Like, no, we weren't. I don't even know.
Right now, we're just trying to build relationships with each other.
Like, I don't even know that we had reached that. We had not actually reached that I'm in love with you part, because that day it happened that we both felt that the same day the kids were playing in the yard. So they had already started forming little friendships then.
Yeah.
But what was the funny thing is, because we had not reached that part yet, but immediately after that was over, Cody and Thomas started like, whose house are we going to move into? And what room am I going to get? And they started like making little plans. We're like, no. We're not there.
Yeah, I do remember the boys were dead set on, if we move into the house, we get the basement, which is where the pool table was and the TVs and all the fun stuff, which is really interesting. So it goes to actually something just to keep in mind where your kids are at. Even if your kids aren't 9 and 10, if your kids are older, you say you're doing this and you have teenagers. You don't have to do this very same thing. You don't have to do, I'm telling you, be intentional, allowing your kids to be a part of this. Give them a voice in the relationship. Now, that voice doesn't mean that if they say, I don't like them and I don't want this to work, that's not the kind of voice I'm talking about.
No, because they're the kid.
Yeah, but also too, it's like we have an open conversation so we can talk about what's wrong, what's not wrong, what do we need to work on,
and
how
do
do we
it
fix it
with them.
Yes.
That
And
was,
so,
I mean, for us, from that part conversation and all that, you can kind of fast forward to even our wedding. Like, we don't have a video of our wedding, which
No.
that was my fault probably. And Mr. J would probably agree with me that my coworker that had said that he would video. We each thought each other was bringing a video camera, blah, blah, blah. There's no video.
Yeah,
nobody brought
a
anything.
video camera.
We don't even have a physical copy of our vows. We just know we said, yes, we want to get married. But
Good friend Ken did it for us.
yeah, but we were intentional even in our wedding because our kids said vows too.
We did. When we were on stage to get married, it was just us and the kids.
And the kids, yeah.
Were all those on stage. And we did this thing where, this was 13 years ago. We were ahead of our time.
Yeah. But Pastor Ken, after we had done our vows, then he addressed the kids. And obviously we don't remember exactly what he said, but it was the gist of, do you promise to support your mom and your dad while we're building a family, and you promise to
I was going to share something else before you jumped into that.
And
but that's okay.
And they said, we do. Okay, go.
No, we had the 2 pieces of rope, and we were going to do what's called a fisherman's knot. So it's a good way to attach 2 ends of the rope. So you tie one end of the fisherman's, I tie one end of the fisherman's. And the idea is when you pull on each end of those ropes, the knot gets tighter.
We literally tied the knot.
Yeah, so we literally tied the knot while we were there. But then as a part, when the kids said those vows, we actually gave them bracelets.
In the same
kind of rope, same color, and they had double fishing. We tied them together with double fisherman's knots.
You did, because I was struggling.
Yeah, so that they would have something to remember that time from there too. So
but
so the whole idea was that it wasn't
involved too.
Yeah, everybody, like, this is a process where we're all doing this together. Even when I proposed to you, the kids were a part of that proposal. My kids were a key part of that.
Well, Callie and Cody were. Thomas and Aaron Grace had no idea.
No, but it was like I wanted them to feel like they were, like they were all there.
It was literally like y'all were proposing to us.
Yeah.
Because you did.
Yeah.
Because we were putting a family together.
Yeah. So it was, which is kind of cool, and it was really fun. It's not the easiest.
No.
It's not the cleanest. It's sometimes, but also too, that's just family, and that's the way family is.
Because we've got some really cute stories and some great ideas that you've had along the way, but it's not been easy.
No, and kids process stuff different. They always process feelings, emotions, situations so different. All 4 of our kids are very, very different.
We had some meltdowns. We had some kids that had meltdowns.
Yeah. And that's okay, because when your kids are you have to understand though, like, you're an adult. Say you're coming out of a marriage. You've been processing that emotionally a lot longer than the child has.
Right.
You've been dealing with that probably a lot longer, and you're frustrated, but your kids haven't. They may or may not have had that time with you. For you guys, it was different than losing TJ. You guys it was a sudden thing for all of
us
you
at the same time.
But processing, like, all of you are processing that at a different place, a different speed.
We were.
So it's trying to figure all those things out as you're walking through this, and have patience to say it's okay, because even you and I, if we're honest,
we had hard conversations.
Yeah, we had really hard conversations.
I don't remember either of us having an actual meltdown, which we probably did. But, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard to, I just keep moving forward. And it was, making sure, like, for me to make sure to continue to respect and honor TJ's memory for my kids and that kind of thing. And we had to make sure on your side to make sure that respect your ex-wife and make sure that we kept that relationship as healthy as we could.
Yep.
So there was just a lot of things to balance and integrate.
Like, one of the things and I'll share this because I don't mind us sharing this and talking about it. Like, one of the things that popped up that we had to work through or talk through or communicate through was, I don't know if you had a shirt or if it was a picture or something that it was TJ's.
Yeah.
And we were dating, and then you had worn that shirt or had it. And so for me, I felt this thing of emotions and feelings going, okay, I'm not telling her she can't wear that because that's stupid on my part. But there's also a part of me is going, is she emotionally ready for this?
Yeah,
where am I at in all of that? Because I didn't know. And I know there's probably lots of people who deal with that at the same level. And I was like, how do we have this conversation in a good way?
When you say there's probably a lot of people that deal with that, it's a 32-year-old widow is not very common.
No, but I'm just talking about even with, you have something like, do you remember when we came across in the closet, I had all the wedding pictures?
Yeah.
And you came across that. It's that same kind of thing. You had that weird feeling like, why are you hanging on to all these wedding pictures? Or why do you have these things? And,
I was like, yeah.
And so then we have conversations.
But then I'm like, well, duh, of course there's pictures. But I do remember what you're talking about in that situation. And I remember you calling me that night because the kid, Callie and Cody, were with you, and obviously my littles were with me. But I remember you calling me, and we were trying to talk about it. And that was, a long time ago. So I was terrible at communication. And so I was like, are you breaking up with me? Why are you asking me all these hard questions? I don't understand what's going on. Like, do you not want to see me anymore? But really, you were just trying to figure out, like, are you okay?
Yeah, I think it was like, are you ready to move on and move past this?
But then for me, I don't know, maybe a t-shirt is a silly thing, but it was like a big, for myself, and was a cool t-shirt, which is why I hung on to it when I cleaned out clothing and all those things. It was just a cool t-shirt from the school I was working for at that moment. And, but for me to be able to just be like, I'm going to wear this cool t-shirt, and I'm proud of myself for just being able to like, no, this is a t-shirt. It was his, but I'm proud of myself. Like, it was a big, like, just like a victory for myself, like feeling like, no, I've got this. I'm proud of myself. But I can obviously, looking back in all the conversation that we had about it, like I can look back and see like, well, that would have probably been weird for me too.
But it was one of those, though, it's not like, it wasn't like I wanted to make sure I honored TJ too, because that was their dad, regardless. So at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you, don't wear that. If you wear that, we're not going to date. Like, that's just dumb. It's like, hey, if you're still processing, if you're still going through that, that's okay. Let's just be honest about it. But at the same time, you had those same feelings. Like, people have those in blended families all the time.
But you know what's kind of crazy thing about it? I just had this thought, and I've never probably said this out loud, but it's like, we're a blended family, yes. You and I are blending our children, but we're also blending your ex-wife. Yes. And we're blending TJ's memory. Like, we blended everything.
Yeah.
We're not just like, oh my God, I love you, I have to get married, and we're going to live happily ever after, and the kids are going to deal with it. That's literally where this name of this podcast came from, is baggage claim. You bring your baggage, I brought my baggage, the children brought their baggage, and we just have to unpack it all and figure out what to do with it.
Yeah. Well, it's what we always say. You got to claim your stuff.
Yeah.
Like, on your own. Like, those are that's my baggage, and that's my stuff. And some of it's dirty and some of it's not. And
some of it's hard to deal with, but.
Yeah, and some of it is not fun to unpack. But the thing is, even if you're not in a blended family, you're in a, I don't even know it's not normal family, but if you're like
we've had this conversation before. It's like, do you say core family or like traditional family? But you said I wouldn't be cool if I said traditional. We would trad family.
Yeah, apparently you can't say traditional on social. You got to say trad now. It's too much work to say traditional. You got to say trad.
But good gracious, in today's world, it's like there's not really a thing anymore of like what does a traditional family look like? Like, family is just different.
Well, like, I guess we're talking like, hey,
original mother and father and the children they produced.
Yeah, you got married.
I don't know
and you got some kids.
That. I really don't know what to call that.
Got married, got some kids.
Yeah,
your family.
Yeah.
You can still do like your kids. Just FYI, have baggage.
They do.
You have baggage. You're bringing your baggage, your crap. You're bringing your crap. Your wife is bringing hers. her family's bringing their baggage to your relationship.
Yeah.
Their family is now. Sometimes you shouldn't let some of those in. You should put some boundaries.
You should.
We can talk about that later.
But then,
but at the same time, there's
Yeah.
all of this blending, and you're like, even in a regular family, it's like you can still give your kids a voice.
You can. And that's what I was about to say. Like when we referred to like there was some kids that had meltdowns and had some trouble kind of integrating together. Well, yeah, that's blended family, but that's real life too. And, you know, those kids, and you have to honor those feelings so that to teach them how to do that with each other too.
Yeah.
To put
And I
it
think
all
that's where
together.
we talk about like so much giving the individual kid a voice
Yeah.
and a say so. Like when we did our trip and they got to plan everything on the trip.
Yeah,
like,
their Sweet 16
their
trip.
Sweet 16 trip was kind of their thing. They get a voice in that. They get to say what they wanted to do. It was kind of their thing that they got to do. Like we pick vacation places every year. You're
We
going, we're going to do this is what we're doing. But we gave them that option. You can still do that. And just a regular family. You don't have to be a blended family to do these things. These are normal things. This cup thing is a normal thing. Like
It should be. I mean, I feel like that there's a lot of times where it's kind of forgotten that the children actually do have a voice, but they're not in control. Is another
the problem with I don't want to get into it now, but the problem is we give too much to kids.
We do.
And we're not
do.
parents. And we'll get into that another day. And I'll get demolished on social media for some of the things I may say.
Maybe, but that's how we did it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that kind of leads into, there's a big question that I'm going to ask now to kind of unpack a little bit.
I have one.
Okay.
And so we were okay, yes or no? I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Are we as intentional with our time with our kids now as we were then? Because now they're like adults.
They are definitely adults. I would say yes and no. I feel like a big transition that a lot of people don't talk about is the transition to being parents and then trying to be a parent of an adult. Because there's like this big gap between, oh, I can, tell you what to do and tell you what I expect. But then they move out or they get married and it's kind of like, oh gosh, I just really want to be a part of your life. Like is so different.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
well, that's a transition from a provider to a coach.
Wow. And it's
like I just took on a coaching role.
That's so hard.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard just to watch your kids.
Oh my gosh.
It's just the same way, like when you're watching your kid ride the bike.
Yes.
And they're about to fall and you're like, oh, you want to save them? Well, as adults, you see them doing things. You're just like, just say something. And you're just like, I'll figure it out.
So the being intentional part, it was like, okay, we are very intentional and we invite. But when they say no so many times, I know I have fallen into they're going to say no anyway, so why would I invite?
You go, bless your heart, because you're emotionally driven and you're a woman. You go, dude, they don't love us anymore. They hate us. They don't want to be around us.
They don't want a relationship with us.
No, they're adults and they're doing their own thing, and that's okay. Like, it's all right for us. And I have to think, because I'm so different from my sisters. Like, I love my mom to death. Like, I do love, and I've tried to be more intentional about reaching out to my mom more. Yeah. But there was times in my life where my mom would call and be like, hey, just make sure you're still alive. Which is funny because I have those conversations with Cody.
That's
every
true.
time I do, I'm like, he's just like me. I can't be mad at him.
Exactly like you.
Yes. And so it's not that I don't love them. You're just independent. Your kids are different. And so, I mean, we can get into that. That's a whole adult
so
parenting.
You bring up a good point. So when you're asking if we're as intentional as we used to be, I'm more emotionally driven. Not I guess. I am more
there you go. Way to own that baggage.
Thank you. I'm unpacking it as we speak. I am more emotionally driven. So when we're intentional about trying to make plans or trying to plan a family trip or whatever it is, and it's no, we're not going to, or I can't, or whatever, it makes me draw back from being as intentional when they're adults, which is not okay. I know it's not okay.
Yeah.
I have to be comfortable with hearing, no, we can't. Because if I think about us and if whatever of our parents, can you this, that, or the other, and we're like, no, we actually can't. We've got this going on.
Right.
Okay, well, that's the same reflection of the children that we have that are adults. But that is hard. That is so hard.
It is hard for you.
It's so hard because I want them to want to be with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and do all the things with us always. And they just can't because they are grown-ups.
Right.
And whether or not they already have plans or whatever, or maybe they just don't want to.
Here's how I if you ask me, no, I don't think I'm as intentional as I used to be. I'm trying to change that. I read a post the other day and it just, it wrecked me. One thing I've realized as I'm getting older, I'm stupid emotional.
Baby, you're always emotional.
I am. I'm a little too connected probably to my emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very emotional. That's not because you're older. You just are an emotional guy.
Huh.
It's okay.
I don't even know how to react to that. But anyway.
It's attractive in my eyes.
Oh, is it? No.
Don't do that.
Okay, sorry.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we're recording still. Sorry.
Make it weird.
So I read this post that was saying they'll come that, and I know you have too if you've been on social media. I sent one the other day to Thomas and Miranda because little Lucy is just as cute as she can be, but she's still crawling. She's not running around. But the post it showed these little baby feet.
It's baby feet.
And it says, just make sure that you enjoy these moments because next summer these little feet will be running around everywhere. And I was like, it hits me.
Yeah.
Like that whole idea, like, hey, there'll be one time where it'll be the last time your kids ever ask you to hold them. It'll be the last time they ever ask you to hold their hand while they're out in public.
So you're going to make me cry.
So it's those moments make me go, I need to be intentional about the time I have now. Even as they're adults. Am I intentional with my time with Lucy, with Thomas, with Cody, with Callie, and with Charles, and all
Aaron
of them.
And Miranda.
All of those. And just say, like, I am, like, when I'm with them, I'm with them. Yeah. Like, I put my freaking phone down, I'm with you.
And I know that's not the subject of this podcast this time, but we were watching that show on Hulu, The Bear, and he said, I got to grab my phone. I'm sorry, I have to get up because I have the quote.
If you guys haven't watched The Bear, phenomenal show. It's about cooking. It's about a chef. Really, really cool show.
He said...
we're not sponsored by them at all.
No, we're not. Because if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil a lot for you, but there's a timer on this latest
the whole series
season.
Is just about a clock.
Yeah.
It's about
and
time.
So he said, when he was talking about his own parents, he said, there's always a timer.
Yeah.
There's always a timer. And it's true.
We don't look at life that way. So my unpack is going to be a little different. I want to pose a question for our listeners out there to unpack wherever you're at, wherever you're at in the world, wherever you're listening to this at, wherever it may be.
And thank you, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
My question is how, I just lost it. How intentional are you with your time? With your spouse and with your kids? Like, what are you doing to make each day count? I'm not saying you have to do an elaborate thing, but what are you doing to make each day matter? Like, it could be simple. I know, like, this is just a thing for me. Like, I know you love Reese's peanut butter cups. And so every time I go, if I'm ever stopped at a store or I'm just stopping to pick something up, I always see the Reese's peanut butter cups. And sometimes I grab them, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes you bring me an ice cold Dr. Pepper and it's like, you're my hero.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper and Reese's peanut butter cups, Jess's love language. So it's just like some little thing to make it intentional. Like, what are you doing as a parent for your kids or for your spouse to make it intentional? This is about you doing something for them. This is a selfless thing.
And my question is not about being intentional. It's more about kind of circling back to some of the things that we were talking about earlier. Because we're talking about involving kids and making sure it's like you're building this family together.
This is your foundation.
And so when we were talking about it, we were thinking about, so how do you, our friends listening, think about this, how do you give your kids a voice and honor their personality and honor their thoughts and their feelings without giving them too much control in what's going on in your family?
Yeah, it's a great question.
I thought so too.
Good job. So I would love to hear, like, for you guys who out there who are listening and downloading, you can find us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram. We're trying to get better at our TikTok. We're trying to get better at all those. You can send us a text if you're listening on, I know at least on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can send us a text straight to the show, comes to us. We see that.
Yeah.
Answer that question. Answer those. Help us unpack. Like, be engaged with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to hear your response. That's the idea, is to create a community. So you share something, you may have a great idea, and like, I've never thought of that. Let's share that, because that somebody else can benefit from that in this community. So what you have is valuable. You just have to share it, and share it with us. Send us, direct message us. Yeah. If you don't want to text from your app to the show.
Because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to build this community. It's not just us talking at you. We want to talk with you and to you. And we want to know what your thoughts are.
So take some time, hang out, communicate with your kids, with your family, your wife. And thanks for joining us at the table tonight.
Thank you.
For a fun conversation.
I keep forgetting to look at what's recording us for YouTube over there. I just look at you.
See you guys later.
Yeah, thank you.